part 2. Okay, so I'm going to list part 1 to this video, the link to it down in the description. If you haven't watched part 1 of this video, watch it first and then come back and watch this one. Because right when I ended the other one, God led me to another scripture, because as soon as I ended the other video, the last video I mentioned how he sees all of our eternity. And so even though we go through all this pain and wrestling and all of this stuff, as he sanctifies us, he's got an eternal perspective. He sees our life as forever, not just for 70 to 100 years. So we could be going through a season of horrific pain, suffering, trials, which we are all destined for. But God sees our eternity. So when I ended that last video, he led me to this other scripture, because he said that we in our flesh get trapped in these seasons where we're getting hurt and there's a lot of pain and change going on. And the reason why God is not that disturbed with our discomfort is because he's got the whole big, he's looking at the big picture of it. When we get stuck in these places where we can't see any way out, remembering that we serve a God of impossibilities. If it wasn't for impossibilities, there would be no need for miracles. That kind of put God out of a job, huh? He's not going to let that happen. He's going to strengthen us, and he's going to show up supernaturally and get us through these things, all of it, everything that we're going through. But if we would put more of our focus on being his ambassadors of reconciliation, like I spoke about in the video yesterday, a lot of our focus would be off all of this drama stuff, all the drama, and a lot of it is legitimate, but it's all subject to change. And every authority on heaven and earth is under God's authority, right? Okay, so anyway, this is part 2 of the last video, and he wanted me to read this scripture. It's the Apostle Paul speaking in Romans 8. It's Romans 8, 18 to 31. Whoops. You guys know how my mouse likes to act up when I do this. Tries to stop working on me, but we're not having it. Okay, Romans 8, 18, 31. Now, whatever it is that's ailing you right now, say to yourself, this is only temporary. This is going to change. This is temporary. It is going to change. God is faithful. My present suffering and the future glory. The pain doesn't last forever. And when we leave here, we go into glory. We can't lose, folks. We can't lose. So we might as well go through the trials with joy, right? That was Jesus' reward. I'm kind of veering off, but that was Jesus' reward for enduring the cross, was the joy that was set before him. But anyway, that's a message for another day. Okay, so our present sufferings and future glory. Romans 8:18. I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. For the creation, all of creation, waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. That's us. And you don't want to be revealed the same as how God found you, right? We don't want to be revealed as anybody or anything that doesn't represent the fruits of the Spirit, right? Okay, I'm kind of getting sidetracked, but anyway. Okay. For the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. For the creation was subject to frustration. Remember I was talking about that tension in the last video. Creation was subject to frustration, not by its own choice, but by the will of the one who subjected it, in hope that the creation itself will be liberated from its bondage to decay and brought into the freedom and glory of the children of God. We are so precious to Him. You are so precious to Him. We know that the whole creation has been groaning, as in the pains of childbirth, right up to the present time. Not only so, but we ourselves, who have the fruits of the Spirit, groan inwardly as we wait eagerly for our adoption to sonship, the redemption of our bodies. We get glorified bodies, right? For in this hope we were saved. But hope that is seen is no hope at all. Who hopes for what they already have? But if we hope for what we do not yet have, we wait for it patiently. How does God teach us patience? He lets us get buffeted with the same things over and over and over again until we are bulletproof. He knows what He's doing. In the same way, the Spirit helps us in our weakness. He's so good. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit Himself, the Holy Spirit Himself, intercedes for us through wordless groans. Anybody groaning and moaning about anything that's going on? Doesn't feel good? Well, the Spirit is interceding for you. And He who searches our hearts knows the mind of the Spirit, because the Spirit intercedes for God's people in accordance with the will of God. Sometimes our will doesn't line up with what God's will is for us. That He doesn't change His mind. He gets it. He gets us. And we know that in all things, God works for the good for those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. We love You, Lord, and we know that You're working all things for our good, even when it doesn't feel good, even when it doesn't seem good, even when it doesn't look good. He's working it for our good. For those God foreknew, He also predestined to be conformed to the image of a Son, that He might be the firstborn among many brothers and sisters. And those He predestined, He also called. Those He called, He also justified. Those He justified, He also glorified. A lot of He's there. Doesn't say that we justify ourselves, does it? Doesn't say we call ourselves. It doesn't say we glorify ourselves. And it doesn't say that we even chose ourselves. We were predestined for this. We're predestined for the glory, but we also have to share in the sufferings, right? Hallelujah. Woo. Father, we want to thank You for this word. We want to thank You that we can't even thwart the plans that You have for us. We want to thank You, Lord, for removing every bit of false responsibility that we've put on ourselves to perform Your will for our lives. You never leave us. You never forsake us. You're 100% confident in Yourself. And we are just to be wide receivers of Your love so that we can hear and see what You're saying and doing. And it shall come to pass. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. God bless.